Welcome to our regular meeting of the St. Mary Parish School Board on Thursday, May 9th, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. in the Evans Medine Meeting Room. We call this meeting to order. Dr. Fagenbush, please call roll.
Ms. Brent?
Here.
Ms. Moore?
Present.
Mrs. Anselm?
Here.
Ms. Jones?
Here.
Mrs. Griffin?
Here.
Ms. LaSalle?
Here.
Mr. Ponte?
Here.
Mr. Parity?
Here.
Mr. Mancuso?
Here.
Mrs. Dennis?
Here.
And Mrs. Black?
Here.
Everyone's here. We have a quorum.
Thank you. All right, if you are able to, please stand for the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Good evening, everyone. Father God, we come before your holy presence to express our utmost thanks and praise to you for all of your abundant, bountiful blessings that you continue to bestow on us, our families, and all of the citizens of our St. Mary Parish. As always, we continue to ask and thank you for giving your divine wisdom and understanding to our Superintendent, Dr. Fagenbush, School Board President, Mrs. Black, and to all of our other school board members that will allow them to effectively discuss and take action as needed on all agenda items. Finally, as we near the end of our school session and the end of our annual testing sessions, we want to thank you, Father, for continuing to protect our schools from all harm and danger and for allowing each school to escalate and maximize their school performance scores. We ask these blessings in your name and in the name of Jesus. And we thank you for continuing to bless our St. Mary Parish, our state of Louisiana, and especially thank you for blessing and protecting our United States of America. Amen.
All right, welcome everyone. This is a great week. It's Teacher Appreciation Week. So we just want to say thank you to all of our teachers who are just so wonderful, and they're the reason that our schools are so great and our kids are just excelling and succeeding. So we just want to thank our teachers for all that they do. First up is our introduction of students and employees of the month. First, we have Berwick Elementary School.
Hello. Yeah, I mean, I wore my big shoes, but it's not helping. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of the board. I have Berwick Elementary's Student of the Month up here with me, Mr. Graham Reshore. With him tonight, he has his mom, Karen, his dad, Travis, and his baby brother, Tanner. Could y'all go ahead and stand up for us, please? Thank you for being here. How did I know he'd stand on the chair? All right, so let me tell you a little bit about Graham. Graham is our beta treasurer this year, and he plays travel baseball. He loves to play baseball in his spare time as well, not just travel ball. And he loves hanging out with his friends and playing his Xbox. When he grows up, he wants to be a sports agent. He's already dressed for the occasion, as you can see. Love it. He's had many awards over the years at our school. Some of them include Student of the Month and Terrific Kids. He's gotten that. And this year he's actually a word millionaire, which of course makes us all so proud of him. His friends describe him as helpful when they have trouble with their math. He likes to help his friends out. And they also say he's a good friend and he's funny. And one student said, he's just an all around good guy. And I just thought that was great. And also, I just want you to know that he has a perfect academic record from all his tenure here with us. And he is a leader, but you don't hear from him. Like he's just flies under the radar. He's a great kid. And we love him and we will miss him. Ladies and gentlemen, Graham Reshore.
We're going to ask that you wait just for a second while you introduce your teacher as well, and then we'll do them together.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so you might know her. My employee of the month is your best curriculum facilitator in St. Mary Parish, Miss Lane Mayon. With her tonight, she has her husband, DJ Snoop, Darren, I gotta say, Darren Mayon Jr., and her daughters, Tyler and Cameron, are here tonight. Her son is unable to attend, so if y'all will stand up and we'll give you a big round of applause, peeps. So Ms. Mayon has been with St. Mary Parish for 20 years, and we've been blessed to have her at Berwick Elementary for 10. As far as the reason she wanted to be a curriculum facilitator, she said she wanted to gain some leadership experience and work with teachers and students daily. She has a master's in ed leadership and national board certification. She loves reading, boat riding, fishing, and spending family time. But that's just the surface of it. I have to do this. I'm sorry. I'm going to talk like an auctioneer. These are the things she either spearheads or she has a hand in every day helping us. Student mentor, teacher mentor, testing coordinator, teacher appreciation week coordinator, textbooks, teachers treat teachers, discipline when admins have the plague, Dibbles data, Lexia certificates, Zern data, dyslexia, lesson planning, engagement strategy, summer literacy, after-school tutoring, informal observations, SPLC, grade level meetings, car duty, classroom coverage, classroom assessments, grants, scheduling, fundraising, student laptops, after-school care, grandparents' day, elite pep rally. And she's a wonderful person for our children. She's wonderful. If you decide to have a trainer of the new curriculum facilitators, there's your girl. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Lane Mayon.
Okay, next up, Emmy Norman Elementary School.
They don't want to come up with me. It's your time to shine. Good evening, board members, and thank you for the opportunity for us to recognize Emmy Norman's Student and Teacher of the Year. Norman Elementary's Student of the Year is Miss Noelle Sheremy. Tonight, she is accompanied by her family, Paul and Kayla Sheremy, her sisters, Rainey, Polly, Lucy Sheremy. Would you guys stand up to be recognized? I'm sorry. Also, her grandparents, Paul and Jackie Sheremy, Ivy and Joe Ellen St. Romain, and Dewey and Kim Oakwa. Ladies and gentlemen, Noelle is a true leader at Emmy Norman, where she has demonstrated leadership qualities throughout her elementary years. In 2019 and third grade, she placed third place in Hometown Spirit Poster Contest. In 2020, she received a Terrific Kids Award, Spelling Award, and Academic Excellence Award for having principals list all year long, a Math Award for having the highest GPA in first grade, and a Paul Perfect Reader and Store Performer Awards for meeting her accelerated reading goals. In 2021, Noelle received a Certificate of Achievement Award, a Math Award, Highest Math Award, and Kiwanis Terrific Kid Award for good character and positive attitude. In 2022, she again received Hometown Spirit, but this time she placed first place. She also received the Science Award for Superior Science Grades, Math Award, Highest Math Average, Reading Award for an Outstanding Performance. Presently, 2023, Noelle received Language Arts Award and having the highest GPA in reading, Social Studies Award for having the highest average in fourth grade, and Readers or Leaders Award for being a super reader. She became a first word millionaire at Emmy Norman. Most recently, in April, Noelle became a 2 million word multi-millionaire reader. Outside of class, Noelle has been a member of Beta for 2 years. She held the roles of treasurer and secretary for 4-H last year, and this year she holds the title of 4-H president. When she is not so busy excelling in the classroom, she excels in the community. Outside of school, Noelle has been involved in gymnastics, tumbling, dancing, soccer, softball, and youth formation. She is thankful to hold the title of Royal Page for the Shrimp and Petroleum Festival, and she is a proud member of the crew of Nike. Further, Noelle has won 3rd place in the barbecue bash for her delicious pork chops. Noelle enjoys participating in community functions and working at Sweet Treats mobile food trailer any chance she gets. Even at a young age, she is most definitely a productive citizen of St. Mary Parish. As Noelle reminisces on her years at Norman Elementary, she states her favorite memory is when she was in 1st grade. Her teacher, also known as her mom, actually crawled through the habitats of the classroom for a reading lesson. If you know Miss Kayla Shermy, she brings every lesson to life. In just a few days, Noelle will conclude her elementary years to begin the exciting journey of junior high. She looks forward to meeting new people, making new friends, and trying new sports, joining new groups. After high school, she plans to attend Louisiana State University, where she will become a neonatal nurse. She also wants to be a mom and babysit in her free time. Miss Noelle would like to thank her family for coming here today. She would also like to let the judges know at the district level that even though during her interview, she continued to say Anthems, she realized after the interview, she should have been saying Adams. She states, boy, that was a hard pill to swallow. She thanks everyone who made this possible for her. Noelle is more than deserving of this recognition and a great representation of a model student. I am proud to present to you Norman Elementary's Student of the Year, Miss Noelle Shermy. I am also pleased to introduce you to Emmy Norman's Teacher of the Year, Miss Laura Cortez. She is accompanied tonight by her daughter Mason, fiance Mr. Daryl Singleton, and her parents Cliff and Debbie Cortez. Can you guys take a stand? Miss Laura Cortez has been a pre-K educator for 14 years now. Before becoming a St. Mary Parish teacher, she earned a bachelor's degree in birth to 5 early interventionist. She has contemplated going back to college to earn her master's degree, but she states pre-K is where her heart is. She has a love for pre-K and her students. Her love for pre-K and her students is evident each time you walk into her classroom. Even on the roughest day, Ms. Cortez remains cool, calm, and collected. I have honestly never seen her flustered. She states the best part of teaching is making a difference. She loves watching each child walk in the morning with a big smile, so excited to start their day. What makes pre-K so special is that she doesn't only play a role in helping each student reach their full potential academically, she also helps shape the personalities and imagination through play. It is truly amazing to see how her students grow each year, and to be a part of that makes her a proud teacher. I often refer to Ms. Laura Cortez's teaching as simply pre-K magic. She truly makes a positive difference at Emmy Norman. Her partner teacher states, Ms. Cortez welcomed her in the pre-K teacher club last year with open arms and willingness to help at any time she needed. She is kind and gentle with her students. She works hard to teach and get them ready for their goals every single day. She is a true team player and a role model, not only for her students, but for Ms. Thomas as well, which is her partner teacher. When Ms. Cortez is not busy inspiring minds in the classroom, she enjoys gardening, yard work, cleaning, shopping, and spending time with her friends and family. Thank you, Ms. Cortez, on behalf of everyone at Emmy Norman, for all the work you do in inspiring our students, faculty, and everyone else at Emmy Norman.
All right.
And last but certainly not least, the St. Mary Parish Alternative Program. Mr. Broussard.
Doesn't work either way. Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen of the board. It's my honor to stand before you this evening to present St. Mary Parish Alternative Programs Employee of the Month, Ms. Tamika West. We're fortunate enough to have Ms. West teach our elementary students. She is joined tonight by her husband, Lieutenant Oscar West, daughter, Miss Ashley West, her father, Mr. Henry Lewis, her mother, Miss Sheila Lewis, and her mother-in-law, Miss Shirley West. Would you please stand? She's also joined from her extended family from the alternative program. Ms. West, before I get into that, I thought about listing everything that she does, but then we'd be here till the next board meeting. So I just summed it up as briefly as I could in the interest of saving time, not in any way to slight Ms. West or anything that she does for our students. Ms. West absolutely goes above and beyond each and every day to provide our students with the best possible chance at achieving academic success and at coping with life, others, and themselves when things might not go their way. Her positive energy and infectious smile have an impact on everyone she encounters and are a major part of her effectiveness in the classroom, especially when it comes to classroom management. Ms. West is always cheerful, happy, and energetic. The passion that Ms. West has for her working with elementary students, especially those who may be a little more challenging at times, is evident in all that she does, from planning to delivering instruction to providing all the extras that our students may need. Ms. West is expert in building relationships with her students and coworkers. She has a way of boosting her students' morale, which empowers and inspires them to modify their behaviors and to learn. There's no doubt that Ms. West will continue to have a successful career as an educator, encouraging and inspiring not only her students, but all of us. Ms. West, we love and admire you. Thank you for being St. Mary Strong.
All right, next up, under appearances, recognition of the 2024 top word millionaires in St. Mary Parish. Do y'all want to go take y'all pictures first? We sort of like walking out. All right, now we're ready for word millionaires.
Good evening. This year marks the 20th anniversary of the Word Millionaire program in St. Mary Parish. So since 2004, the goal of the Word Millionaire program has been to encourage reading district-wide and to recognize those who have demonstrated an extensive reading record during the school year. For the 23-24 school year, St. Mary Parish has 114 Word Millionaires, 49 students. 49 students and 65 adults. Berwick Elementary, with 7 students and 16 adults, led the parish with the most Word Millionaires. In total, the 114 Word Millionaires read 150,496,497 words. All Word Millionaires receive a t-shirt and a certificate at their school sites. But tonight we are here to recognize our top readers in our elementary division and our secondary division. So I'd like to invite Mr. Torin Beer to come stand up here with me. The top Word Millionaire for elementary is Mr. Torin Beer. He is a 5th grader at Patterson Junior High School who read 4,925,898 words, but I have been told that number is already over 5 million by now. With Torin tonight are his parents, Jesse and Brody Beer, and his sister, Tinley. If you'd like to stand for us. He also has a neighbor here in the audience cheering him on, board member Miss Ginger Griffin. The librarian at Patterson Junior High is Miss Catherine Padro, who could not be here tonight. Torin was nominated as Patterson Junior High School Student of the Year. He participated in the Talented Arts Jam and is a member of the Patterson Junior High Band, where he is seated first chair in the saxophone division. In his community, he's a member of the Scouts, and he serves as an altar worker at his church. Torin is described by his teachers as a delight to have in the classroom, a student who always displays academic excellence and a willingness to help other students. Mr. Torin Beer. I'll now like to invite Mr. Stanley Oquan. The top Word Millionaire in secondary is Stanley Oakland, who is an 8th grader at Berwick Junior High School, who read 4,700,103 words, which I have also been told that number is now over 5 million. With Stanley tonight are his parents, Trey and Rachel Oakland, his siblings, Addie and Wyatt. If you'd like to stand, please. And the librarian at Berwick Junior High is Miss Laura Rentrop. She's also here cheering on Stanley. Okay, here's the best part. This is Stanley's 6th consecutive year winning this award. He has been the top Word Millionaire since he was a 3rd grader. In total, in those 6 years, Stanley has read almost 36 million words, and he has taken 675 book quizzes. 675 books. Stanley has been an avid reader since his 2nd grade teacher introduced him to the Goosebumps series. This year, his favorite book was Shadow and Bone, a dystopian fantasy novel. When he is not reading, he loves being outdoors. He fishes, rides his 4-wheeler, golfs, and plays soccer and co-ed softball. Recently, he has been learning Spanish and Latin via an online program. At school, he is the Beta Club president, student council vice president, and a member of the track team. He is also in the Gifted program, Talented Art, and Talented Singing. All of that, and he still has time to read 5 million words. Congratulations, Stanley and Torin, your family, your schools, and all of us at the St. Mary Parish School Board are very proud of you. Dr. Fagenbush will now present Torrin and Stanley with their certificates and a $50 gift card, maybe to buy some more books. Uh-huh.
All right, next up, recognition of Nurse Lydia Duval as the Louisiana Department of Education semifinalist for School Health Service Provider in Nursing. Ms. Estee.
Mrs. Duval couldn't physically be here, but she's right here. She's out of training right now, so she wasn't able to attend. But Mrs. Duval was our St. Mary Parish School Health Service Provider of the Year, and she made it as a semifinalist with the state of Louisiana. Again, she regrets not being able to make it, but she's out of training, learning new health service programs to meet the needs of our students. She's been in education for 29 and a half years. She reminded me it'd be 30 this summer. She's a part of many organizations, so many, too many to go over. But the one memory I share most with Mrs. Duval is whenever we went through the pandemic, she worked around the clock, making sure she knew all the CDC guidelines, being able to help administrators, school nurses determine the needs of our kids, who needed to quarantine, who could come back, when they could come back. She also organized vaccinations for all employees that wanted to get their vaccination. So this is just one example of the many things that she does for our students and for our teachers. And I know she truly loves it. She is always the life of a meeting. She has a very colorful dress style. And on behalf of her, she wants to say that it has been a pleasure to serve the board, the superintendent, all administrative faculty, teachers, nurses, maintenance staff, and OSE staff in St. Mary Parish every day and every year. Mrs. Lydia Duval.
And I'm sorry that Ms. Duval couldn't be here with us because this week is Nursing Appreciation Week.
Okay.
So thank you to all our nurses as well.
All right, next, the approval of the amended agenda. There is no amended agenda. Approval of official school board minutes from our special session from April 8th, 2024. And we'll do it in globo with regular meeting on April 11th, 2024. What are the wishes of the board? Ms. LaSalle makes that motion. Ms. Griffin seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. The approval of the consent agenda. The items preceded with an asterisk will constitute the consent agenda, with board members being able to remove any item so desired. All remaining items will constitute the finalized consent agenda and be voted on all together. Dr. Fagenbush, please read the consent agenda.
Under Business Affairs, item 3, award bids. A, Child Nutrition Department items, eggs, juice, milk, produce, dry and canned foods, frozen foods and meat, paper and cleaning, small kitchen equipment. Number 4, advertise for bids. A, permission to advertise for custodial supplies. B, permission to advertise for playground equipment at Bayou Vista Elementary School. C, permission to advertise for all-weather track replacement at Franklin Senior High School, Patterson Senior High School, and Berwick Senior High School. 9, field trips. A, Berwick High School Band travel for Sound of Pride stage performances with the National Heritage Festival in Dallas, Texas. And 10, approve cooperative agreement between the Louisiana Cooperative Extension Service to assure continued informal educational programming from the LSU Ag Center in support of 4-H youth development.
All right, thank you. What are the wishes of the board? Ms. Moore? Ms. Moore makes a motion to approve. Mr. Mancuso seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Under new business personnel, number 1, discuss and consider recommendations for the use of differentiated compensation allocation funds starting fiscal year 2024-2025. A, teacher leader supplements. B, undergraduate resident teacher recruitment and retention supplements. C, reimbursements for recruitment and retention. And D, value added model VAM stipend bonus. Ms. Estes.
Okay, as many of you know, it's hard to find certified teachers everywhere, not just St. Mary. But in an effort to recruit and retain certified teachers, we would like to offer the supplements with the differentiated compensation allocations that we receive from the state of Louisiana. The letter that is in your book lists the positions for teacher leaders, recruiting and retaining positions, critical shortage areas that are identified by the state of Louisiana, which are special education K-12, math and science 6 through 12. If you look at the items in 1A, we can review the stipends. Oh, before we get to 1A, if you look at item 1 behind the letter, that's all the requirements that they gave us the guidance to follow. So this is the part we would like to add to the gold book. So the teacher leader supplements would be a certified mentor, and through the Louisiana Department of Education, you complete a mentor training. With that, they also mentor our resident teachers, our teachers that are working towards certification, that are on a practitioner license, those different positions. Also, a certified content leader. That's through the Louisiana Department of Education, curriculum facilitators, SBLC chairs, technology leaders, and core and elective lead teachers. We would like to do the stipends in the fall and in the spring once they finish their fall semester, they would get paid in mid-January. Once they finish the spring semester, they would get paid mid-June. With all of this would come some documentation that they would have to follow through with as well. In addition to the stipend, we also, for curriculum facilitator, SBLC chair, and technology lead teacher, giving them a few extra days during the summer because they work during the summer to prepare technology, 504 plans, and those different things, being able to pay them their daily rate of pay. The core lead teachers would be junior high and high school because the elementary already have a curriculum facilitator, which is that core lead teacher. Any questions on that so far? Okay, so, yes, ma'am.
Just wanted to know if the state is going to help us with funding this, or is this state is helping us?
Yes, ma'am. This is the differentiated compensation allocation that they gave us August.
Oh,
We had
okay.
$289,825.
Okay.
Okay. Also, if you have that long sheet, which kind of maps out the positions and how much it would cost, so that it's easier for y'all to follow. Okay, the recruitment and retention supplements, this would be for undergraduate resident teachers. Through the universities, they now have to complete a year-long residency, where back in the day when we went through education, you only had one semester where you did your student teaching. In addition to them having to work all day during the school year whole 180 days, 82 days, they also have classes that they have to attend. So just to help them out, we would like to supplement them with $1,000 a month for their residency 1 and residency 2. If you look at number 1, it's highlighted for you. For the 23-24 school year, for those teacher residents that complete their residency 1 and 2, and they sign a contract with the St. Mary Parish School Board, we would like to offer them a $5,000 sign-on stipend. That would be a one-time. The next page in your board book is the teacher residency retention stipend and the requirements that they would have to meet in order to get this $1,000 per month. So they would have to work with their teacher. It's a college student working towards their bachelor's degree in education. They have to do their clinical experiences in their residency 1, which consists of 40% of the instructional time each week. The supervision is done by the team that consists of their mentor teacher, which is that classroom teacher, the principal, and then their university faculty member. And then it goes on to, with the rest of those requirements. Any questions on that? Yes, ma'am.
I think I'm still back on the first one. I missed that. The value added, that, yeah.
That's gonna be on item D.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm reading ahead.
Okay. All right, so reimbursements for recruitment and retention. Now, remember, this is what the state identifies as a critical shortage. It's a special education, so those wanting to get their add-on for special education, we have courses that they can take, not us, but they can go through a LRCE. It's $3,800. They get their add-on in 1 semester. Also, those teachers going through alternate certification for math and science. Some we have going through math track, others we have other avenues. We'd like to pay up to $4,500 for those out of this compensation fund. Now, we currently reimburse for alternate certification for all areas, but we would like to use the compensation money to help with our general fund in supplementing these, okay? And then item D is the value added model. This goes along with LEAP. So this would be the teachers that teach LEAP grades 4 through 8, Algebra 1, English 1, English 2, and geometry. They get a score based on the student growth, and that's called their value added model. And that is determined by the State Department. They have the formula that they go through with it. And based on the progress, a teacher is rated from 1 to 4, with a 4 being highly effective. So we would like to give a $3,000 stipend to those teachers that score 4 on their VAM score, which would be, this year we could pay it now because we have 13 teachers, and then next year would depend on their VAM scores when they come out in October. Any questions?
I remember value added, VAM has been around for a while, and there was a debate on it once before, whether or not Louisiana was gonna go with VAM, because it's like a merit increase. And, some people were saying it's not fair, everybody needs to get it. So I'm just glad to see that we evolved till now we can receive and accept the value added, because I thought it was a good thing.
Yeah, and what it is that teachers that don't teach that LEAP grade or the LEAP subjects that qualify in the VAM, they don't have that average into their evaluation at the end of the year. Those LEAP teachers with a VAM score, that's averaged in with their evaluation. So, and this is all the differentiated compensation allocation is strictly for certified teachers.
I've got a question. Ms. Voisin, do we expect this to be recurring yearly?
Well, as of right now, yes, we'll get funding in 24, 25. at 280,178. No, ma'am.
Which is why in our salary schedule, we're required by the State Department to identify in our salary schedules where differentiated compensation funds will be used. So that's why we've been so specific in our allocations and the explanations. So in our goal book, it will be identified as differentiated compensation funds. So just like anything, grants, et cetera, once those things may no longer be available, then we go from there.
Did you say that some of this is going to be supplemented with the general fund?
We already reimbursed for alternate certification out of the general fund. That's where it's coming from, right? Okay, and, because I know they have everything else with ESSER, but this would just take the special education, math, and science out. And we don't really have, as you can see, we don't have many that get certified in math, science, or, you're welcome.
Anyone else? A, B, C, and D? Yes. All right. Ms. Griffin makes a motion to approve number 1, A, B, C, and D. And Ms. Jones seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Este. Next, under Business Affairs, number 2, receive group health insurance premium to claim summary report. Mr. Perez.
To present your update on your group health insurance. And this is the commercial group health plan with data updated through the month of April. So at 1/3 of the way through 2024, sounds kind of surprising. We're already one third of the way done with the year. We've had a very good start, especially compared to last year. And you could see since, we had a concerning start at a 93% loss ratio in January, but since then, we were trending favorably. And year to date, we're at a under 85% loss ratio. Cost adjusted, that's right about 93%, which is a good start, especially when compared to last year. With the self-funded hypothetical, where year to date, we would have, were we to have gone self-funded, starting at $0 in our reserves, January 1 of 2022, we would have added $420,000, almost $421,000 year to date, and our reserves would have grown since January of 2022 to a little over $2 million. And you'll notice that I have a line highlighted, which is the prescription drug rebate. I've always said that that's very fundamental to the stability of a self-funded plan for St. Mary, for it to be a viable option for us. Recapturing those prescription drug rebates, 100% of them from the PBM coming back to the plan, is fundamental in that being a viable option for us. There is a Senate Bill 347 that will be decided on May 13th. It goes to the final vote to the Senate before it goes to the governor's desk, and all indications are that he will sign it. That Senate bill, should it become law, would remove those rebates. Groups would not be able to recapture those rebates back to the plan. There's one caveat. There's there is an amendment included in the final draft of that bill that may exempt school boards. It's exempting OGB, and and the remainder of the wording is unclear, but is a possibility that we, or any school board that carries a self-funded plan in Louisiana may be exempt from this, and we may potentially still be able to recapture those rebates should we go self-funded. It's going to be a deciding factor when we get to that point this year, whether self-funding is a viable option. I did email Blue Cross to get their interpretation of that amendment. I have not yet received a response. I know Blue Cross always looks to, even though you are independently self-funded, they always try to follow the OGB guidelines. So I'll keep you updated as to whether that provision would exempt us. It's very important to this being an option. So in short, as we stand fully insured, so far so good for this year, and I will keep you updated as we move along, as we move forward. Do we have any questions?
I do. What happens to the rebate if it doesn't go back to us or
The rebates typically go back to the PBM, to the pharmacy benefit manager. So when you negotiate the contract, there's a couple of different options. If it goes back to the PBM, then you would expect that the formula for reimbursement would be different, so that the net costs to the plan would be offset. But in our case, claims run so high on prescription drugs anyway, school boards generally benefit by, when they negotiate the contract, by negotiating that the reimbursements come 100% back to the plan. And the way this bill is, the bill approaches this subject as if 100% of the time the rebates are going back to the PBM. And that's not always the case, especially for school boards. So that's why I think there's a good possibility we may be exempt from that.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Perez? All right, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much.
All right, next up is award substantial completion for the chiller replacement at West St. Mary High School, BE Boudreaux Middle School using ESSER funds. Mr. Wise.
Good afternoon. I'm going to ask to delay this item. Our engineers realized today that we're going to have to ask for a change order, a no-cost change order to extend the deadline of the contract. We had some delay in the delivery of those chillers. And in doing so, it exceeded the contract date. So next month, we'll have a no-cost change order to extend the contract. And then we'll also ask for substantial completion at the next board meeting, if you're okay with that.
Okay, can I get a motion to defer that to the next meeting? Ms. Moore makes that motion. Ms. Quincy Brent makes that second. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mr. Wise.
Thank you.
Next, consider funding the replacement of the floor in the boys' gym lobby, including down the hallway to the front office areas with ceramic tile, 2,540 square feet, District 3 special projects list in the amount of $58,000 at Morgan City Junior High School.
This was an item that we was asked to price after our District 3 Maintenance Committee meeting. And I'll bring it before the board for them to consider if that is something we wanted to move forward with.
Mr. Mancuso?
I'd like to look at this at next month's meeting. I think we need to explore a couple different options there. I think we all want to get it done, but I think we need to look at a few different options on the type of flooring and everything else. Can I call a special meeting, maintenance meeting now? I'd like to kind of get all that together, some different options in a couple weeks, and call for a meeting on the 23rd, if that's okay. And that would be item 6 and 7, yes. Good.
Got it. Okay. So we would need a motion to defer items 6 and 7 to the District 3 Maintenance Committee to be set later in the meeting, right?
Yeah, at a time.
At a time.
At a time agreeable to the members.
Okay, I'll make that motion.
All right, Mr. Mancuso makes the motion. Ms. Dennis seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We can set it at the end when the committee. All right, number 8. Accept change order number 1 for re-roofing phase 1 at Berwick High School, Berwick Junior High School, and Patterson High School in the amount of $27,491.50 using ESSER funds.
Okay, on behalf of Mr. Carl Bloom Architects, I'd like to present this change order to you. The change order involves some work that we've done at Berwick High, which was the additional base ply and crickets that were added to correct some of the ponding on the roof. That amount was $22,640.99. And we also did some additional work at Berwick Junior High. Item number 1 was the additional material to replace a portion of the existing metal fascia that could not be replaced. That was $4,262.50. An additional cost for the lighting for the night work to accommodate the leak testing was $3,991.25. And we're also getting some reimbursement for for a roof leak that occurred during the heavy rain, and reimbursing the maintenance department on their labor and some electrical work and some ceiling tile replacement for a deduct of $3,403.24 for a total change order of $27,491.50. On behalf of Mr. Carl Bloom, I think this is a fair change order.
What are the wishes of the board? Ms. LaSalle? Okay, Ms. LaSalle makes the motion to accept it. Ms. Moore seconds it. Any discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wallace. Next, number 11, consider and take action regarding a resolution of support of litigation challenging new Title IX regulations. Ms. Anselm.
Good afternoon. As we know, the Biden administration had made changes to Title IX, and our Attorney General's office and the state of Louisiana has put a lawsuit towards it. Did you want me to read the resolution or my statement going forward towards it? Okay. Be it forever known that by official actions taken At its meeting of May 9th, 2024, the St. Mary Parish School Board adopted the following resolution. Whereas the United States Department of Education has issued a final rule titled Non-Discrimination on the Basis of Sex in Education Programs or Activities Receiving Federal Financial Assistance. Whereas the final rule dramatically changes Title IX regulations and acknowledges it will increase complaint investigations. Whereas the final rule will disadvantage the board by increasing its obligations, compliance, cost, and liability risk. Whereas the board believes the final rule is contrary to the federal law and will be detrimental to students, parents, and employees. Whereas the board believes the final rule is directly contrary to existing state laws as well as laws currently being considered by the Louisiana legislature. Whereas the state of Louisiana, the Louisiana Department of Education, and the state of Mississippi, Montana, and Idaho sued the federal government on April 29th, 2024, challenging the final rule, Louisiana versus the U.S. Department of Education, number 24-CV-563. And now therefore be it resolved that by the vote reflected herein below, the St. Mary Parish School Board does hereby elect to support the state of Louisiana and the Louisiana Department of Education in the Louisiana litigation against the United States Department of Education and other federal defendants to challenge the final rule.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Anselm. All right, do I have a motion to accept the resolution in support of litigation challenging new Title IX regulations? Ms. LaSalle makes that motion. Mr. Mancuso seconds it. Any discussion? Ms. LaSalle.
It's, we're supporting the resolution, but we chose not to get involved in the legalities of it. Why?
Board members, my understanding is that when the initial notification from the Attorney General's office was sent out, they were under a relatively tight deadline to determine, who all was going to come in when the initial filing was taking place. I think the original deadline was May 2nd, which was only a few days after they sent their request out to join. From a practical standpoint, many boards weren't scheduled to meet in the coming days. When that initial request was sent out. Some were, and some were able to go ahead and get it done in time. But they recognized that it was a tight time frame that they were asking. So the ones you're obviously meeting past the May 2nd deadline, which is, I believe, why staff, you're just expressing support for the state's lawsuit as opposed to requesting to join as a party.
Legally, how hard of a stand is that? Or is that just something, a matter of fact?
By adopting this resolution, you're not joining the lawsuit as a party. This is more just a statement, a public statement as to where the board stands on the subject of this lawsuit.
I guess what I really want to know is, does it make a difference on, we're not part of the lawsuit. There are only like 4 states instead of 50 states.
Well, there's 4 states right now. And, from a practical standpoint, whenever any administration does this, you're going to get a law. It seems like now there's always a lawsuit. Anytime something happens, it's never all 50 states. It's always just several states. Sometimes the state wants to be the one that takes action. Sometimes, a state may already know, okay, I already know this state's challenging it and I support that. So there's no point in me being in it. or, maybe we don't support what that other state is doing. So I don't know if I've ever seen one where all 50 states were joined in the lawsuit.
That was just an example.
Yep. But
If you look at 4 of something, will the federal government say, only 4?
so more could join later on, and actually more could file their own lawsuit. There's nothing that prevents multiple lawsuits from being filed. And yeah, it's probably reasonable to expect that more states may file their own lawsuit. And as the superintendent just pointed out, it is possible that while you can't join as an actual party right now, there may be an opportunity to join as an amicus at a later point in time, which an amicus means a friend of the court. And what an amicus is, you're not the plaintiff, you're not the defendant, but you're somebody who's interested in the results of the case one way or the other. And in certain situations, if the court grants amicus status, what they'll let you do is file your own briefs as amicus. So for example, if one party files a motion saying we should win for this reason, the other party will say, no, you don't. And then as amicus, you can say, well, I think this party is right, and I think this party is wrong for whatever reasons. And it's something the courts, will typically consider.
Ms. LaSalle, as far as the Attorney General, only 17 parishes have filed lawsuit with the short timeline. They did advise us if we would like to be amicus brief in support of the litigation that was advised, and for us to do resolutions as of now. And there may be a later point that if we wanted to join, that would be back open. But as far as right now, they moved very swiftly, as it was already a compromising timeline that could affect immediate harm, including across the state and schools. And so it was just so fast that at a later date, if that is something that reopens back, I would be more than happy for us as a board to discuss and revisit. All right, thank you all so much.
All right, so we have a motion to accept the resolution and we have a second. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Oh, wait, you want to say something? Sorry, Dr. Fagan Bush has something.
I just would like to clarify, regardless of our resolution or our position in this case, we will continue as a system to safeguard the rights of all of our students and make sure that they come to school every day in a setting that is safe and healthy, and that we continue to regard their rights the way that we should.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other discussion or questions? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, under reports, committees, District 2 Maintenance Committee met on April 23rd, 2024 at 3 p.m. Ms. Griffin.
Thank you. District 2 board members met on Tuesday, April 23rd, and approved $921,720 of maintenance spending, as well as $700,000 of capital spending on our 2024-2025 special projects for District 2 schools. Each site was reviewed with amendments occurring in some instances, and each was approved individually. No transfers were needed from the maintenance funds into the capital projects funds. And I'll make that in the form of a motion.
Okay, we have a motion. Ms. LaSalle seconds it. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next up, District 1 Maintenance Committee met on April 23rd, 2024 at 4:30 p.m. Ms. Moore.
District 1 board members met on Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024, and approved $515,495 of maintenance spending, as well as $490,000 of capital spending on our 24-25 special projects for district schools. Each site was reviewed with amendments occurring in some instances and approved individually. No transfer were needed from the maintenance funds into the capital project funds. And I will make that in the form of a motion.
All right, Ms. Moore makes a motion, Ms. Jones seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, District 3 Maintenance Committee met on April 30th, 2024 at 3 p.m. Mr. Mancuso.
Thank you. District 3 Maintenance Committee members met on Tuesday, April 30th, and voted to recommend approval of $815,235 of maintenance spending, as well as $605,000 of capital spending for the 2024-2025 special projects for District 3 schools. Each site was reviewed with amendments occurring in some instances and approved individually. No transfers were needed from the maintenance funds into the capital funds, project funds. I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommendations of District 3 Maintenance Committee at this time.
Okay, we have a motion. We have a second by Ms. Dennis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. And do you want to set that meeting right now?
Yes, I'd like to set a meeting for May 23rd at 4 p.m. here. And to discuss the flooring at Market City Junior High School.
Okay. Thursday. It's 2 weeks. All right, everyone good with that? All right. Next, the Special Education Advisory Committee met on May 8th, 2024 at 4:00 p.m. Ms. McClarity.
Good evening. On May 8th, 2024, the Special Ed Advisory Council met here in the Edmund Medine room. We had a lively discussion with the full board here, and I was very excited about that. We had Ms. Sandra Saucier from the Brittany Project. She spoke and gave a lively discussion about what they centered their projects around and our students here in the district. We had Ms. Jennifer Collins-Lansland, who spoke on transitioning from high school to whatever else the kid is going to do when they finish high school. Testing was discussed at this time, and we're in the middle of testing right now, and hopefully we'll be at the end of testing come May 17th. But at this time, I would like to thank those who attended the Special Ed Advisory Council. We did a better job of it this year, I think, than we did last year, because it was the first year was kind of discombobulated, but we did make a concerted effort to improve that. And I want to reach out to you guys right now. When we start next year, we haven't decided on the dates. We only have 3 meetings a year, that we have a great attendance next year. I'm looking forward to that, and getting some good people to come and speak to us and to our parents. So I would ask that you put the word out that we will start back in September with the Special Ed Advisory Council, because it is important for this district that we reach out to parents so they can understand what we do and how much we do every day for the students here in St. Mary Parish. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. McClarity. Next up, under staff, Chief Financial Officer's report. Oh, sorry. All right, before we go on to the next section, Ms. LaSalle wants to call a technology meeting. I don't think, yeah, about to say fourth, we don't need a whole hour for District 3, so if y'all wanted to go at 4:30.
Okay.
That might be better for you guys, because we don't need the whole 30 minutes. So on May 23rd, District 3 Maintenance will meet at 4, and the Technology Committee will meet at 4:30.
They may need to be reminded since have you ever had
Perfect.
moving over?
Thank you. All right, now, Ms. Voisin, up Chief Financial Officer's report.
Regarding sales tax collections, we're 10 months into the fiscal year and are 7% favorable compared to our year-to-date sales tax budget. April's sales tax collections were $254,000 or 13% favorable. The general fund financial statements are in your packets. And with regard to any other significant items, I'd just like to remind everyone that we will be adopting our 2024 millage rates at our next meeting on Thursday, June 13th. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you so much. Next up, Dr. Fagenbush with her superintendent's report.
As we celebrate Teacher Appreciation Week, we are filled with gratitude for our exceptional teachers and all of our staff. Their tireless dedication to our school families shapes the future in so many profound ways, ways they may not even always know. The job is challenging and takes true commitment, but the influence of our educators extends far beyond the classroom, leaving a lasting impact on the lives of our students and the future of our community. To all of our educators, we say thank you because you really are what makes St. Mary Parish strong. Summer school will be held this year across the district to assist students who may need additional supports in order to move to the next grade level. Schools have been contacting the families of those who may need to attend to relay important information about specific dates and times. Please reach out to our school administration if you have any questions. While it's hard to believe, after this week, we officially have 2 weeks left of the 23-24 school year. The last full day is May 22nd, with only students needing makeups to attend on the 23rd, and report card day is May 24th. As we close the year, many events are happening on our school campuses to honor our students and their accomplishments. But it goes without saying, senior graduations are the highlights. Our graduating seniors symbolize years of commitment from so many. Each person that played a small role in their success should recognize their worth. When they say it takes a village, it truly does. Consider a 12th grader who's crossing the stage. If they began in pre-K kindergarten, every employee in their school impacted them for 12 years. All the people who sponsored and supported the school impacted them. And of course, our community and our parental support always impacts them. We're talking about tens of thousands of people who made a difference for every single child as they cross that stage. I have a message for seniors to remember who you are, and when things feel too big, just make them smaller. Big dreams can always be broken down into smaller wins. You must believe that you are going to do great things in order to do great things. Remember, you've got this, and we're always here for you. That ends my report.
Thank you, Dr. Fagenbush. Next up are our resolution of respect. Mr. Holmes.
In memory of Gwendolyn Harris Sheraton, a retired school cafeteria technician, and Louisa Smith, a retired elementary school teacher. And whereas Almighty God, in his infinite wisdom, has taken from our midst, and whereas their untimely death has deprived the St. Mary Parish School System of these beloved colleagues, Now, therefore, be it resolved that the St. Mary Parish School Board and the people attending this board meeting bow our heads in silent prayer out of respect and extend to their bereaved families our sincere condolences and express the high regard in which we held each of them in life and honor their memories in death. Let us adjourn this meeting out of respect for Gwendolyn Harris Sheraton and Louisa Smith. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Next up, we are going to do a strategy session and or action concerning pending litigation. Can I get a motion to move into executive session? And we're gonna need a roll call vote. All right, Ms. Ansel makes that motion. Ms. Brent makes that second. Any discussion? All right, Dr. Fagenbush, can we get a roll call vote?
Ms. Brent? Yes or no?
Yes or no? Yeah. Yeah, we're voting by roll call to go into executive session. Okay.
Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Ms. Anselm?
Yes.
Ms. Jones?
Yes.
Ms. Griffin? Ms. LaSalle?
Yes.
Mr. Ponte? Yes, no? Mr. Parity?
Yes.
Mr. Mancuso?
Yes.
Mrs. Dennis?